Welcome to the Scott Townsend Show, brought to you by Dietzo Man Productions.
Hey, this is Scott Townsend, and you're watching and listening to the Scott Townsend Show. Today I have with me a committee of peers, colleagues, friends of mine who have come up with a nice campaign for Bartlesville area regarding COVID, and so I've invited them to be on the show. Good morning, Kelly and crew. How you guys doing?
How you doing?
Kelly, we'll start with you.
Hi, Scott. How are you today?
I'm doing great. So, Kelly, you're the, give me your, as we go around the room, can you introduce everybody to us?
Sure. So I'm the Chief Communications Officer for the City of Bartlesville. And I've been asked to put together a campaign for Bartlesville that has a consistent message about COVID-19 and what we can do as a community to mitigate the spread of the virus. And so I sat down and thought, how can I put something together that is catchy, that people understand, that people pay attention to, almost more of a marketing campaign as opposed to what I'm more used to in just terms of, regular boring city government communications. So I sat down and thought about, who are the people in this area that I've worked with before, that I trust their opinions, I trust their judgment, and they're talented and creative and, hardworking and have just everything that I thought we needed to make this campaign work. And it came up with this list of people here that you see. David Austin, he's in corporate communications here in Bartlesville, long history of journalism and worked for the schools in the past as our communications person. Dave is kind of in this community, as we communications people who are younger and coming up, we ask ourselves, what would Dave do when we need to know, how to proceed? And that always gets us through. We've talked about that before. But so, and then also Michael Ray from Michael Ray Designs. Michael has worked on several school and city committees, the Citizens for City Progress. He's been involved with that a lot, so I'm familiar with Michael most that way. He's a talented graphics, go-to guy who just puts in the time and the work that whatever it needs to, whatever the project needs to get going, Michael's always good to do, and I really appreciate him and his input on everything we do. Tim Hudson works for Brian Engel Publications. Tim and I have been friends for 20 years. We've worked together for 15 of those years. I think I've talked to Tim every day for the last 20 years. So he's a creative guy, actually kind of a creative genius, great communicator, great marketer. He's got a great marketing mind, and I knew I wanted him to be in this project as well. And then you, Scott, you're famous in this area for your social media and podcaster extraordinaire talent, and we appreciate everything you bring to this committee as well. And then Kelsey Walker couldn't make it today, but she's been helping us out. She works for the Community Development Department here at the city, and she and I have a long history of working together as well, and she's really smart and good at just everything she does. And I think somebody said the other day she's kind of the secret weapon in the campaign.
So, Kelly, we'll start with you first on the first question here. And can you tell us a little bit the story? Can you tell us the story of how this campaign came to be? How did this get on your radar?
Well, the campaign got on my radar about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4. I was speaking with the city manager about some other things. And, we've been dealing in this community, as we have as a country and the world, with COVID-19 since March. And there have been a variety of approaches, I guess, to try to figure out, hey, what can we do to stop the spread, which is, getting worse as we progress here. So the city manager essentially tasked me with, hey, figure out a way to get some consistent messaging out to our community and let's figure out what we can do to try to get these numbers down, get these infections down, save lives, protect our businesses and the health of our citizens. And so I said, okay, well, let me put together a team and see what we can do. And so we went to the city council on November 23rd, had a special meeting. And in that meeting, council approved one resolution, but it basically did a few things. One was to appropriate some, I say, leftover CARES Act money. Now that's the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. Congress passed that in March. It was a $2.2 trillion package. A lot of that money went to, well, for various things, but a lot of it went to cities and counties and municipalities. And while there were no stipulations on that money in terms of how it could be spent, Mike Bailey and the city council, of course, wanted to spend it in a way that would replace some of the things that we were not able to do, or that we had to sacrifice because of COVID. Council met on the 23rd and they approved a resolution. It was one resolution, but it actually did a few things. And one of those was to allocate some what I call leftover CARES Act money, which is the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act that Congress approved in March. That was a $2.2 trillion package. And with that money, the council allocated most of it to replace things that we were not able to do because of COVID-19 and the impact it had on the city budget and that sort of thing. So there was just about $23,380 left over from that, and council said go ahead and use that to do this campaign. So that's when I called everyone, got everyone together, and we've been working for about 4 weeks now to try to launch this campaign, and I think we've done a great job.
So, David, you guys have turned and burned on this thing pretty quick. I mean, in 4 weeks, creating an entire campaign that's as far-reaching as it is. How did you guys do that?
Basically, just everybody just kind of working together as far as trying to decide, we knew what the messaging was going to be. It was going to be the 3 W's as far as wash your hands, watch your distance, if you can't social distance, and then wear a mask. And so as far as the campaign coming together, it was just a question of, okay, well, it's basically a communications campaign. We want to put out the message of the 3 W's. How do we best do that? And so we came up with what we feel like is a good logo, one that hopefully people are starting to see now. He's a good-looking buffalo. We feel very proud of it. Most buffaloes wear capes and boots and gloves, so he dresses accordingly. He even has the COVID-19 Busters belt, so he's looking good. But, we just, I think all of us felt like this was just kind of a noble cause. I mean, at the end of the day, we're looking to help keep people safe and healthy, remind them of good practices to help them do so.
I think you're right. Instead of waiting for someone to tell us what to do, we're taking the responsibility upon ourselves to be proactive.
Yeah, and just remind them of good practices to help everyone in our community stay kind of healthy and safe. So yeah, to your earlier question, I think everybody just came together and okay, so what are we going to do as far as a logo for this communications campaign, and what kind of communication vehicles can we use? Be it radio or podcasts or billboards or physical signage. And it was just kind of nice just to see, to work with all of you on this project again that we feel like ultimately, hopefully, will be for the betterment of the community that we know and love.
Tim, over to you just for a second. How can the people of Bartlesville help out with this campaign, this project? How can people get engaged?
Well, they can pay attention, spread it around, like social media type of stuff, videos like this, podcasts. I mean, obviously, the greater goal of the whole thing is to encourage everybody to be safe, wear the mask, be vigilant of others' health, and just do our part to try and take, as the campaign implies, to take care of our herd, to really protect our people, protect our friends and loved ones, all that kind of stuff. So I would say just be a good neighbor and I don't know, pass it around, I guess.
So, Michael, can you hear me?
I can, Scott.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. I know you were having some audio trouble earlier, but we'll try this and see how it goes. Go to that protect our herd. That's a catchy phrase. How did you guys come up with that?
Well, we just try to figure out a soft, nice way to tell people that what we're trying to do is protect everyone with the three things we're asking them to do: wash their hands, wear the mask, watch their distance, and by doing those three things, we can help protect everyone, not just myself, not just my family, but everyone in Bartlesville and surrounding communities.
So, Kelly, over to you just for a second there. Is there a downside to participating in this campaign? I mean, why would someone not want to help us protect the herd?
Scott, I don't see a downside at all in that. I know that this issue has been controversial. I'm hoping that's not the case in Bartlesville, but we are seeing cases go up. Cases are going up all over the state. That includes Washington County and, of course, the country and the world. So we can only benefit from doing whatever we can to protect each other and try to get these cases down.
Do you know how Bartlesville's doing compared to other Oklahoma cities and towns as far as the COVID infection rate?
I think that they're about right in line with them. I mean, I'm sure there are some smaller, more rural communities that are, doing quote unquote better in terms of numbers. Obviously, we don't have as many cases as Tulsa and Oklahoma City, but we hold our own.
So Mike, can you tell us a little bit about the character Beeville Bill and how that came about?
Well, we're looking for something that was relatable for all generations, some hopefully superhero character. And I think, Scott, you made the contact with our illustrator.
Right. So that was a fun project, and the collaboration is so cool. And this group, this committee was really great in being able to kick around ideas. And sometimes I had to put my big boy pants on, and if someone didn't like what I was coming up with, well, that's just the way it was. But we came up with this character. Yeah, you're right. A buffalo. Seems like buffalo are, they're all over. The iconic buffalo is all over Bartlesville, so we used that. And then had this illustrator, John Haspel, out of Tulsa. Well, actually, we started the first iteration of the character, and we just went from there. And John took that and created, what he thought we were looking for based on what we told him. We looked at it, tweaked it, kicked it back to him, and this kind of ping pong approach went on for a week or so. And ultimately, we came up with I think it's a really cool character. I think the kids are going to enjoy it. I think the adults can get behind it. I think it sends the right message. It's playful, but at the same time, he means business. And so what Beeville Bill's doing is really encouraging everyone to wash your hands, watch your distance, and wear your mask. I think we were really careful to, once again, not be heavy-handed with the message, but to simply ask people to help and to help with these three seemingly insignificant things, but they really mean a lot to not only myself, but to others. And we're really encouraging everyone to consider others and not so much yourself, with this campaign. So I think it's something that people can get behind when they see the message, they see what we've done. I think people are going to look at it, and I think they'll come on board. Kelly, on the can you tell us a little bit about the campaign and where people are going to see? What can the citizens of Bartlesville expect? Where are they going to see this?
Well, I think if we've done our jobs right, they should see it just about everywhere. There will be billboards. They're not up yet. We're waiting on those to come back from the printer. As you know, Scott, this was kind of a, we were tasked with time. We didn't have a lot of time to put this together. So some of the things, that we're doing will roll out a little bit later, but people should be seeing things today, with obviously this program, and they'll see some information in local media, and of course the City of Bartlesville website, and the City of Bartlesville newsletter called City Beat. If you're not signed up for that, you should be. You can do that on the homepage on the website www.cityofbartlesville.org. So if you just scroll down to the middle over on the right, there's a place to sign up for that newsletter, and it comes in your email once a week, usually on Tuesdays. But we put it out today early so that everybody can see this. It should be everywhere. And we have a couple of surprises like you kind of hinted at earlier, and I think that'll be very visible as well.
So, Tim, if how are we going to know that this campaign's successful? What at the end of this campaign's what? How long is it? 3 months, 4 months? How long is the campaign, Kelly?
The campaign is for 120 days. So
120 days.
Stretch, yeah.
So, if we were to say, how are we going to measure success? When this is all over with, how will you know that this has been a successful campaign? How are we going to know as a group?
I think two ways. One, to flatten our curve, which is obvious, and we get numbers. How often do we get those, Kelly? Is it daily or weekly?
The numbers are available every day.
Every day. So I think we should see a difference in the curve, hopefully. And the second one, and this is probably the more obvious one, like I hope to see this everywhere. I think whenever, when we get going full steam with everything hitting at once, I think you're going to see Beeville Bill all over the place, from your computer to your phone to your drive to work or whatever you're doing. Hopefully it'll be very visible for everybody in town.
Right. That's really great. So, Kelly, for anybody that is looking for more information about the campaign, or how they might be able to help or download posters, graphics, character, whatever, merchandise, signs, where do they go?
Well, they can go to the city's website, www.cityofbartlesville.org, and there is a COVID hub on the homepage, about the middle way down. And if they click on that, it'll take them to several options, and then we have a place in there for this campaign. And if they click on that, that will show them everything that we're offering to support their businesses or their organizations. If they'd like signs, like you mentioned, also we have some printed. We'd be happy to provide for them, or they can come and pick them up, or we can maybe even deliver them.
I'm just going to go around the room here. And David, so final thoughts, last words on this campaign.
I'm just with everybody else. I just feel like it's a noble effort where we're simply looking to just like we say, protect our herd, and just offer people reminders of habits that virtually every medical professional say will help us kind of stem the tide of this global pandemic. So, like I said, we're not being heavy-handed about it, asking people to kind of all pull in the same direction if they can, and hopefully we can flatten our curve or send it down, which is obviously what we want to do. Michael,
if you had something to say to the citizens of Bartlesville regarding this campaign, what would it be?
Join us in the fun. This is a kind of a unique marketing effort that I've never seen too many cities take before, and I think it's going to be great. Share Beeville Bill with as many people as you can, and I also just wanted to thank this group for letting me be a part of it. Thanks for asking me. And I think this is going to be a great program for the city.
Tim, any thoughts on what we've done and where we're going?
Well, I just think that, now is a point in time. I mean, what's happening right now, 2020, is going to be talked about for decades, if not centuries to come. How we've handled things, what's happened. I think, we mentioned earlier the numbers that we get of cases and stuff. And Kelly, I think you can back this up. I mean, the worst number that you see on there is how many died. And, it's unfortunately there are people in our community that die from this. And the numbers that we get, they are because of confidentiality and stuff. They're impersonal. But in my opinion, it makes it so much more universal, because when it says that someone died, it says a male over 65 died this week. And for me, I think it hits home in a lot of ways. But on the good side of that, it's the same with what we're trying to do. I mean, the anonymity, get together and we can do this. These are our people. These are people who know what a hot hamburger is and know what Fantasyland Forest is and things of that nature. These are our people. We want to take care of everybody. It doesn't matter if you know them or if you're, it's your friend or whoever. I mean, that over 65-year-old male that died, that's one of our people. And I want to just turn that down to nothing. And we can do it as a group.
That's really well said. Kelly, we'll leave it with you.
Well, to Tim's point, I think that is important that he said that. And, we have kind of brought a little levity to this situation with our, character Beeville Bill and that sort of thing. And the simple message of wearing your mask and washing your hands and watching your distance. This is a very serious issue. It's a very serious public health issue. And I think that I just want to make sure that the citizens know we're all here just to help. We're all in this together. People who work for the city also live in this community. We make decisions for all of us, and we hope that they accomplish the intended goal. And I hope that this campaign does that. And I would like to recognize at least, the city manager and the city council who had the foresight to say, I think that reaching out to citizens and asking them, hey, let's all work together and protect our herd. I think that was very wise of them, and I just want to thank them for that.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for joining today and coming together and helping the city of Bartlesville kind of understand what's going on and what to expect and how they can help. And so for Kelly Williams and David and Michael and Tim, this is Scott Townsend. You're watching and listening to The Scott Townsend Show, and we'll talk to you later.
The Scott Townsend Show is a Dietzo Man production. For more episodes, visit the Scott Townsend Show YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.